speed rush every day of the year, and not even the Drive Safely campaign of Federal Road Safety Corps could placate the restive madness of majority of Nigerian drivers. Over the years, statistics have shown that during the Ember months, there are more road accidents, fire outbreaks, robberies, frauds, and other crimes and disasters. Realists say that the so-called Ember months are not in any way different from the other months of the year, as tragedy occurs in Ember months like other months of the year. They posit that ascribing needless spiritual and mythical undertones to tragic happenings during the Ember months is nothing but a way of trivializing serious issues that require methodical approach. They think the truth is that there is usually an increase in tempo of public, religious, and corporate activities because it is a period when most institutions organize end-of-the-year events that include massive movements. Consequently, in a bid to be part of the various end-of-the-year activities, most people throw cautions in the wind by disregarding critical safety issues. It is in the midst of this frenzied state that avoidable human blunders often result into diverse kinds of misfortune, leaving in its trail sorrows, fear, and blood. Tonight on the show, we examine why people have reservations about Ember months, statistics of road accidents in Nigeria and other disasters, plus preventive measures. Welcome to the program. My name is Kirian Umayo. Thanks for joining us. I will now bring you the news of the day. President Goodluck Jonathan has called on all Nigerians to support his administration to achieve an all-round transformation in the country. The president made the call at a sensitization rally organized by the PDP Southwest Zone in Lagos. State House correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
After a minute silence was observed in respect for those that lost their lives in the building collapse in Lagos, President Goodluck Jonathan commended the party members in the zone for their commitment and support to the party.
We continue to make sure we create jobs for our youth. We continue to make sure that we work with the private sector to improve on the economy. The job creation the Vice President mentioned, we are tackling it from various angles. In terms of education, we are also making sure that we improve the quality of education.
Only recently, the National Bureau of Statistics reported that between January and July this year, about 500,000 youth has been employed in this country due to the transformation agenda of the President.
The speakers recounted various developmental reforms ongoing in every sector of the economy geared by President Jonathan's led administration and called on them to support him as the party's flag bearer in the 2015 presidential election.
We mean well for you, and the PDP urges you to repeat and improve on the feat which you performed in 2011 presidential election.
In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Just before attending the Southwest Unity Rally, President Jonathan visited the Oba of Lagos, where he assured Nigerians and the people of Southwest in particular of more development. Shegulaule has that report.
The president, who was at the palace of the Oba of Lagos to pay homage and receive the royal blessings, assured the monarch and his chiefs and the entire Nigerians that he will continue to do his best in improving the economy and social infrastructure in the country.
Well, I reassure you as a party that we'll continue to do our best. Myself and the Vice President who are heading the executive arm of government that execute projects for the nation. We'll continue to do our best. We promise Nigerians that we must make changes. We must begin to do things differently. We must improve on the infrastructure we have. The challenges are still there, security challenges, Boko Haram in some parts of the country.
Obariwanu Akiolu, in his remarks, said all he asked for is a credible election.
My only appeal, and I've said it times without number, I am not an hypocrite. Nobody can stop anything to get what God has designed for him.
He expressed confidence in the leadership of the president in transforming the country for the better. From Lagos, Segun Lawole, NTA News.
In another development, President Jonathan has paid a visit to the Synagogue Church of All Nations, where he commiserated with the church and the families of the deceased, including the South Africans. Here again is Segun Lawole.
Inspecting the collapsed story building in company of the Lagos State Deputy Governor, called for an urgent meeting with state governors with a view to ensuring strict compliance with building code and give technical assistance to builders, especially those involved in construction of high-rise buildings across the country.
The issues of the cause of collapse is not what I can comment on since the investigation is going on, but we'll work with people to make sure that we don't experience such collapse again if it is something within something that government can do. Of course, I spoke with the governor of Lagos yesterday. We are going to have a meeting with all the governors and the local government, the president of local government chairman, to see that government must assist in terms of advisory issues to people who are building high-rising houses, so that if it is technical issues, we'll be able to manage it.
The president also commiserated with the government and people of South Africa over the loss of their nationals.
I express my personal condolences and that of the federal government to the church, the prophet, the founder of the church, and especially to the bereaved families of the people that have died. And as you've read from the papers, a number of them are not Nigerians, from other countries, especially South Africa has the highest number. I spoke with the president of South Africa on Thursday to express my personal condolences and that of the federal government.
The president, who has since returned to Abuja, was seen off at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport before leaving for Synagogue Church of Nation by the chairman, Board of Trustees of the PDP, Chief Anthony Aneni. In the State House, Segun Lawole, NTA News.
To political issues now. The Northeast Zonal Rally by Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, TAN, has been conducted peacefully in Gombe State. Emmanuel Akila reports that the gathering, which was tagged Peace Building and Prayer Rally, featured presentation of relief materials to victims of insurgency and national disasters.
The Northeast Zonal Rally of Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria in Gombe is the fifth of the non-governmental organization which has been going round the 6 geopolitical regions of Nigeria to talk about the successes recorded and to appreciate the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's led administration. This rally was unique in the sense that it was prayer for peace to return to the region.
Without peace, there will be no country. Without peace, there will be no religion. Development of our various federal institutions in the state, construction and completion of the 330 kVA substation in our state. Mr. President is working assiduously in our infrastructure company of the economy.
Prove yourself that you are grateful for what this administration is doing.
Because he is touching our lives, and we are with Jonathan because he's a Nigerian. We stand here to support Goodluck Jonathan for all the good things that he has done for the northeast of Nigeria.
Host Governor Ibrahim Hassan Nankombo of Gombe State, who received food materials donated by Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria on behalf of President Goodluck Jonathan to victims of insurgency and natural disaster in the region, appreciate the transformation agenda of the federal government.
Although this is not time for campaign, but it's time to say good when good is done. Mr. President has done very well.
Secretary to the government of the Federation, Ayim Pius Ayim, added that the present administration is committed to effective development and peace.
They are simply mobilizing the good people of each zone.
Highlight of the Peace Building and Prayer Rally for the Northeast was presentation of over 1 million signatories endorsing support for President Jonathan in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party's Governors Forum, Board of Trustees, and its National Executive Council have been commended for their endorsement of President Jonathan as the sole candidate of the party in the 2015 presidential election. The commendation was made by the people of Nembe local government area of Bayelsa State. Samuel Numonenge completes the report.
In an expanded stakeholders meeting graced by political gladiators, traditional rulers, elders, women and youths of Nembe in unison appreciated the implicit confidence reposed on President Goodluck Jonathan by the People's Democratic Party top hierarchy for endorsing him as their party flag bearer in 2015 elections. In the same manner, they reaffirmed their support to President Jonathan and Governor Saraki Dixon.
The party at its highest level, we have all agreed that this one man, what he has done for the past years, it is only proof that let him continue and finish.
Because Mr. President, he has no option than to succumb to the people because he will be the sole.
The Ndembe women, men, boys, chiefs, and the kings have spoken that they should come back for a second tenure.
His party has already endorsed him. Our own, we are only thanking them for identifying with the products we've actually presented to them.
The stakeholders meeting, which brought together people from both Ogbolomabri and Basambri in Nembe, attendees say mark a new era of peace and unity in Nembe local government area. From Nembe, Samuel Numanengi, NTA News.
The United Progressive Party has applauded the People's Democratic Party for adopting President Jonathan as its sole candidate for the 2015 presidential election. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Ubwehidike, in a statement said the action has saved the party and the public from distraction. The party states that it will not leave Nigerians in doubt as to the fact that their presidential candidate for the 2015 elections will emerge from the southeast geopolitical zone, and already the process has commenced. The statement added that the party will make anti-corruption, job creation, youth empowerment, health issues, and security matters its cardinal program. Now, the need for government institutions to work together for the actualization of developmental policies and programs took center stage as the head of civil service of the Federation, Danladi Kifasi, interacted with the chairman and members of Federal Civil Service Commission. Correspondent Ablahi Garba was there for NTA News.
The Federal Civil Service Commission is a gateway to Nigeria's civil service, while the Office of the Head of Civil Service regulates postings and management of such staff. That is why collaboration between the two bodies is necessary. These were the points highlighted as the new Head of Service visits the Commission for the first time since he assumed office. The chairman of the Federal Civil Service Commission, Don Ayo, intimated him on efforts to improve on succession plans in line with principles of federal character and opportunities given to persons with disability.
She will look into cases of succession gap in the ministries. We have started working on this.
The head of civil service of the Federation, Mr. Danladi Kifasi, commended the innovations in the Commission and pledged to sustain the bond of partnership and collaboration between the two organizations.
And because we have been given the task and an assignment to ensure that the transformation agenda of Mr. President is achieved.
In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
An induction course to educate all intending international Muslim pilgrims on how to conduct and protect themselves and Nigeria in Saudi Arabia and also perform an acceptable Hajj has opened in Abuja. The course is using scale models of religious landmarks, keeping healthy on their trip and also avoid contracting and spreading any infections. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju reports that head of the 2014 medical team was on hand with the latest health tips from Saudi Arabia.
Adequate and appropriate knowledge is required to perform a successful Hajj. Hence, the need for stakeholders in Hajj operations to ensure that intended pilgrims are well equipped both mentally and physically for the holy rites.
It's our responsibility as a ministry, now working in collaboration with the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, to ensure that proper screening is instituted on all pilgrims, irrespective of where they're coming from. Either they are tour operator pilgrims or pilgrims come from the state, we must screen all of them. And therefore, we're here today to ensure that we educate the pilgrims for them to actually let us all be on the same page.
As we go along, we are going to have other knowledgeable people who will be putting them through, guiding them along the exercise throughout up to the last day.
Some participants describe the lecture as quite educative.
Very wonderful, in fact, very stimulating and thought-sharing experience.
I find it very awesome because the more you learn, the more you are able to perform the Hajj ritual properly.
Programs are taken through the theoretical and practical aspect of Hajj exercise. The induction course is holding under the auspices of the International Programs Hajj Committee, which is an umbrella body of the Hajj tour operators. About 10,000 Nigerian Muslims are performing the 2014 Hajj as international programs through the tour operators. In Abuja, Rashidat Mustafa Olaguju, NTA News.
The Governing Council of the National Teachers Institute has applauded the institute's management for sensitizing teachers on the Ebola virus and other deadly diseases. Chairman of the NTA Governing Council, Ali Saad Brinunkudu, gave the commendation during the recent meeting of the council in Kaduna. The report.
The recent Ebola sensitization exercise organized by the NTA, where teachers across the country received free preventive Ebola kits and manuals, was described as significant by council members. Chairman of the council, Ali Sahad Brinunkudu, while commending the institute for the gesture, added that the role of teachers in the prevention of the disease in Nigeria makes the gesture timely.
Teachers have greater roles to play, not only in imparting knowledge, but also in helping to bring up our children, our future leaders in a very healthy manner.
After presenting an Ebola prevention kit to the chairman of the Governing Council, the Institute's Director General, Dr. Aminu Ladan Shareu, said all state commissioners of education, chairmen of state universal basic education boards, some schools across the country, as well as other agencies like the National Union of Teachers, have received Ebola prevention kits and manual from the NTI. He further says it is the responsibility of the institute to sensitize teachers in Nigeria on issues like the Ebola virus disease.
This is symbolic, actually, for them to pass on the message to all teachers in their various states, so that when they use this Ebola kits, and then they also read the manual, it will go a long way actually to help them so that they prevent the spread of Ebola.
The sensitization workshop for teachers on the Ebola virus disease was in collaboration with the Health Services Clinic of Congo campus of the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria.
In case you're just joining us, this is Weekend File on the NTA network service. The Ember months are here again. Many Nigerians believe the months to be prone to road accidents, hence the intensified efforts by those concerned to ensure safety on the nation's roads. Stay with us for a close look at these after the messages.
From the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
The period covering the last 4 months of the year is referred to as the Ember months. This season is characterized by increased mobility of persons due to festivities. What are the reasons behind this ugly trend? In this report, correspondent Ismail Musa seeks answers to issues concerning the period.
A World Health Organization report indicates that Nigeria and South Africa have the highest annual record of traffic fatalities in Africa. In 2010, for instance, Nigeria recorded 5,279 deaths in road crashes, a figure that superseded the total annual deaths attributed to malaria, HIV and AIDS. Though investigations reveal that there is a sustained downward turn in road crashes in Nigeria, available data indicates that most of these traffic fatalities occurred during the Ember period.
Ember month is actually the last 4 months of each year. And the ember is derived from those months because they all end with BER. As a matter of fact, they all end with EMBER except for October. So you have September, October, November, December, and that makes up the ember months.
Features of the ember months that comprise the 4 last months of the year include Christmas and New Year celebration.
And we Nigerians, we are impatient. For instance, like the commercial drivers, a place you used to make maybe 1 or 2 trips, you want to make 5 trips a day to make more money. By so doing, you will not observe the traffic rule and regulation.
What are the measures put in place by the road safety regulating body to stem the ugly trend?
We have what we call Ego Eye, we've had what we call Shield, and these things are put in place called intervention patrols at critical corridors. These are codes that we feel we have seen through observations and crash data coming out from them. We have seen that these are the black spots in the nation, like the Lagos-Ibadan road, the Benin-Ore road, Kaduna-Zaria road. So we put intervention patrols on these routes to calm the activities there and stem the tide of road traffic crashes.
For we, the drivers, my advice is for them to go gentle and to drive carefully.
The message from the Federal Road Safety Commission to motorists this impending festive period is to drive safely, as only the living celebrates. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The last 4 months of the year have become notorious with people ascribing certain phenomena to them. To some people, those months are evil, and therefore people are advised to be careful during the period. Are there really special things about the ember months? Beauty Ehobemem represents the situation in Edo, Delta, and Ekiti states.
Most people are renewing their prayers and making fervent supplications to God, asking for his special mercies and guidance through these ember months. Of course, it is September, which is beginning of the ember month, often dreaded for unverified evil omen. The most critical of the ember months are November and December. That is usually when communities and groups celebrate annual events.
There is nothing so bad about ember month. All we need to do, as an individual, is that, we just need to be extra careful.
Carefulness matters a lot in whatever you are doing.
These activities result in increased movement of persons, goods, and services, and consequently, the possibility of accidents occurring is high.
No matter the emergency of the trip, please don't travel at night.
From Asaba, Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi reports that 524 casualties were recorded in road accidents in the last quarter of 2013 by the State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps.
All these agencies have been sensitized to ensure that the message of safety is carried and that is a collective responsibility.
Olubumi Aduwo reports from Akure that the major causes of accidents in the area include careless attitude of drivers, overspeeding, and bad roads. From Ekiti, Michael Olaleye reports that stakeholders are putting machineries in place to reduce carnage on the road.
Lack of patience is one of those things.
There's what we call lack of concentration. I will be thinking, how do I make money? You would not concentrate on the study.
The road roughness and then the weather situation.
In Benin, Beauty Ehobemem, NTA News.
With the ember months here, stakeholders in Kaduna State have called for increased awareness as part of measures to curb the carnage being experienced on Nigerian roads during this period. Correspondent Ndang Andiaba Young has the details.
Kaduna, like other parts of the country, has witnessed preventable road traffic accidents leading to loss of lives and property. For instance, in 2012, by week 37, 830 crashes were recorded. 473 died from the crashes. It increased in 2013 as it recorded 871 road accidents, out of which 455 died. The number, however, decreased this year to about 54%, with fatality rate by 20%.
This deaths are as a result of carelessness.
Some of the drivers, they take drugs. Something we can do without if we are very careful.
Though road traffic crashes have reduced in Kaduna and surpassed the target of FRSC headquarters by 39%, the FRSC Sector Commander Kaduna State, Mike Olagunju says the rate is still unacceptable.
What it means is that more than one person dies on our road every day in the command. So it's not acceptable. We look towards maybe not recording more than one death per week.
What then are the preventive measures in place to tackle this problem?
Give them either repairs to go and do and come back within certain period of time, or ask the person effect the repairs there and then in our station.
I speak with you, we have Operation Shield 5 going on. Presently, we have deployed radar gun, that is speed detecting gun, to the highway.
We have route commanders, we have route VIOs, who will inspect the vehicle before it comes to the loading pit. They have to inspect it. If it is not okay, we'll tell you to go.
The stakeholders called for synergy and increased public awareness to reduce road traffic accidents to its barest minimum. In Kaduna, I am Indian and Abagyang, NTA News.
Reckless driving, over-speeding and non-adherence to traffic regulations have been named as factors responsible for the high rates of auto crashes during the ember months in the southeast zone of the country. Nkiru Anyefena has the report.
Available statistics from the Ebonyi State Federal Road Safety Corps reveals that a total of 128 road accidents were recorded in 2013, 30 deaths and 230 injured persons.
One of such plan is massive public education on speed limit violation.
We'll make sure that the vehicle they are operating or using are roadworthy to operate on our roads.
In Enugu State, statistics reports show a total of 104 auto crashes with 429 casualties recorded between September and December 2013.
In the process of trying to meet up, people are too much in a haste.
The Federal Road Safety Corps in the state says it has identified crash-prone areas and has intensified patrol in these areas. In Anambra State, analysis have revealed that over 129 people die annually in road traffic accidents involving 293 vehicles from September to December 2013.
We are saying that disobedience is what causes accident and death.
In Aba, available statistics show that road accidents occur as a result of human, environmental, and mechanical factors.
You see somebody, you want to go 10 trips, 20 trips in a day, just to make more money, more than the way you used to make in other months.
In Enugu, Nkiru Anyefena, NTA News.
Road accidents do not just happen. They occur sometimes as a result of human errors. These errors happen throughout the year. Annie Daniels reports that those were the views of some Lagos residents in response to fears allayed by Nigerians over time that bad things happen more and road accidents also happen more during the ember months.
Ember months is a phrase used to describe the last quarter of the year. That is, September, October, November and December. Over time, Nigerians have become apprehensive with this period of the year because of the belief that there is usually an increase in evil occurrences and more deaths are recorded by road accidents.
Most of them are human error, due to human error, either to celebrate or to meet up.
People want to make money, people want to get vehicles to travel home.
Witches and wizards also know that during this period, there is room for them to operate.
Lagos State, with an estimated population of 80 million people, 224 vehicles per kilometer of roadway, and 25% of total number of vehicles on Nigerian roads, according to available statistics, experiences more vehicular traffic at this period, leading to increase in enlightenment campaigns by road traffic maintenance agencies.
Within this period, the ember month, we have the Christmas, we have also sometimes the celebrate, and these are occasions that warrant people to move from one place to the other to celebrate with their loved ones.
The whole essence of our activities during this ember month is to ensure that we cut down on this presumed high rate of crashes that always follows this high tempo of activities within this period.
Respondents identified human errors, especially excess and inappropriate speeds, as key factors responsible for a high proportion of the mortality and morbidity that results from road crashes.
They know they obey the traffic light. Those motor, they know they obey it. Sometimes I will use my hand. I will stop it. The light go stop. I will still use them so they don't see my hand. They don't see the traffic light.
These respondents and traffic maintenance agencies are optimistic that controlling vehicle speed can prevent road crashes as well as reduce the impact when they do occur. Thus, they say, can be achieved through the speed limiting devices. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Chords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it.
Auntie.
Oh, hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats. And contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for a healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping, huh?
Power Oil. Healthy for you.
Introducing the great tasting new Mini-Me Chin Chin. Rich in yummy ingredients like milk, butter, and wheat.
Mini-Me, crunchy. Mini-Me, tasty.
Playful, cheerful, joyful, very big. Break the boredom with the unique taste of Mini-Me Chin Chin.
Hey, chai, my people! For September 24th, 2014, the change go start. This change now to take rearrange our government, make our economy day bam, and our security go tanda chim. This change now for national reconcile, and it go make work jabrata for people who not get work. Atiku Abubakar, the Turaki Adamawa, go announce say him don ready to contest for president under him party will be the All Progressive Congress (APC) for the 2015 election where they come.
Atiku don talk and say God bless this our country well, and if we get better people for government, this we country go. They can't pay like one of the Obonga countries there for this world.
Time for action now, and with your support, Atiku don tanda gidigba to give us better leadership.
Make una come join Atiku Abubakar for Shehu Musa Yaradua Center, Abuja, on the 24th of September 2014. The time na 10 a.m.
If we join hands together with Atiku, we go build Nigeria where everybody go happy. Atiku 2015, a Nigeria for all, because now all of us waka come.
Welcome back. I'm now being joined by Corps Commander Stella Uchebu, the Corps Education Officer, to discuss the issues. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
Now, how does FRSC view the concept of Ember Month?
Actually, to us in FRSC, the Ember Month is like any other month of the year. There is nothing special, extraordinarily special about it. People go about their daily business. It's just that there is, increased activities during these Ember months. And the Ember months are usually the 4 months towards the end of the year.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, why do we record increased accidents, mishaps, disasters of sorts, during this period? Well, let's take it from the point of view of your own specific area as a road marshal. Why do we record so many accidents? And what actually is your role, to ensure that these number of accidents do not increase?
The reason why we record increased rate of crashes during these Ember months is because of people being in a hurry. It's actually attitudinal factor. Motorists want to, especially the commercial vehicles, they want to make up during this end of year. They believe that what they couldn't do within the other parts of the year, they will make up towards this time. There is increased rate of motorization towards this end of the year. So they want to make up. What is road safety doing? We also increase our activities at this time to match the increased motorization and movement. For example, we try to increase our public enlightenment activities. We also increase our enforcement during this time through enhanced deployment of staff and logistics.
Now, already within these 4 months, you foresee increased vehicular movements and general activities of human beings, which brings about, as you said, increased motorization across the nation. Yes. Now, what have you put in place for rescue operations, but knowing fully well that all those are going to occur? What have you put in place, especially for this year?
Yes, right now we have 24 zebras. We call them emergency points, to make sure that anywhere we have crashes, we deploy our men easily to the points, and we utilize our IT center, our call center. Whenever there is an emergency, the public will call our IT center through the 122 toll-free line, and immediately we route the call to any of the ambulance points, rescue points that are near to that particular crash site, and they are deployed immediately within between 0 and 15 minutes.
Now, do you have enough ambulances to cope with the number of accidents that we see every day, especially during December months?
Yeah, we have 24 ambulance points, 24 rescue points, and we have
throughout the country.
Yes, we have, and we have received additional 11 ambulances from the World Bank to assist us during this period.
And you're coping with that. It is really working.
It is working.
Okay, let me take you to a very critical issue of what is your role in all of this. Not necessarily to be ready for rescue operations. So we're now talking about ensuring that people come up with attitudinal change. Now, Nigerians are rough drivers, no doubt about that. On a daily basis, we record accidents, even in cities such as Abuja. I can assure you that we see more than 5 to 6 accidents daily in this city. Now, does it mean that your operations are not effective? Why are people not respecting the rules and regulations that guide the use of roads in this country, especially in the capital city here?
And as I said earlier, it's an attitudinal problem. We have been using our public enlightenment. We go to the motor parks, we go to the transport unions, we engage, the citizenry in the churches, in the mosques. Apart from all these things, you still find out that people still, offend. What we have done, to take care of that is that we have devised a project we call the flying ticket. It's a device, flying ticket, that when we try to stop an offender and the offender doesn't want to stop, what we do is that we utilize our IT by capturing the number plates of the vehicle that cannot stop. And when we capture it, we go to our back end and using our data, because we have enough data, we have the capability through our data bank to know the name and in fact all the details of that particular vehicle. And what the court does is that it will go to either the workplace or to the home of the person and serve him the ticket. And we expect that person to respond to that.
Now you talk about serving of tickets.
Yes.
We don't see that quite often, as often as people disregard and disrespect traffic rules in this country. Why is this ticketing not increasing with the same pace as that of offenses that people commit on the roads? It's a daily thing.
Actually, tickets are increasing. From our data, we have, in fact, through our operations, we issue tickets. Whether it is flying ticket, the one that I was just talking about is the flying ticket. It's a new innovation we want to bet. Regularly, our patrol team issue tickets to offenders on the road. Anyone that causes an infraction, we issue tickets to them.
Now, the Standard Organization of Nigeria recently approved a standard of speed limiters for vehicles. Can you give us further insight into this?
Yeah, this process started 2 years ago in 2012 precisely, when road safety noticed from our data that most of the crashes that occur are speed related. About 40% of the crashes that occur are speed related. Whether it is a loss of control, whether it's dangerous driving, all of them are speed related. So we thought, what could we do about this? If we must, significantly, as we plan to do, crash this crash, we need something that will not now behove on the driver at his discretion to do or not to do. So we sought the collaboration of some. From that 2012, we had stakeholders meeting with relevant stakeholders, NURTW, Return, NATO, and we were able to agree that there was need for this, to force people to reduce their speed. Because we believe that once speed is reduced, even if there is a crash, the rate of fatality will also reduce. So by August this year, we got the approval from some. And September 12th, we also had another stakeholders meeting to determine the implementation dates. That was held, and it was agreed by all the stakeholders that June 1st, 2015, we are going to start implementing the speed limiters program.
All right, now let's talk about facilities and equipment, with which you operate. Do you have enough of that to be able to function effectively?
Nothing can be enough. What we have facilities, we have equipment. We have about 500 patrol vehicles right now across the country. And the World Bank has been assisting road safety. In fact, it has been assisting us to build our capacity to be able to tackle, to improve our operations. But nothing can be too much. If we get other, support from other agencies, it will be most welcome.
Yeah, we used to see you, not now anyway, because we used to see you using some kind of gadget, to check someone's speed, even if at the speed stop. So we've not seen you doing that lately.
Oh, we have it. It's rather gone.
Yes.
We use that. It's deployed across the country. It's part of the. In fact, we have reintroduced it again. We were using it in the past. At a time, it was like it was not being, but right now it has been reintroduced again. It is part of the devices to check the speed, the excess speed issue.
Yes, Stella Uchebu, thank you very much for coming on Weekend File tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. I have been speaking with Stella Uchebu, Core Education Officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Now, don't go away, because more will be on your way very shortly.
Are you a Nigerian woman aged between 18 to 25? Do you have a valid international passport, birth certificate, or voter's card? Do you think you have the qualities to be Nigeria's next true beauty queen? Come participate in Queen Nigeria Beauty Pageant 2014. Application forms are available at www.queennigeria.org for 5,000 naira only. Apply now and stand a chance of winning 1.5 million naira cash. A chance to represent Nigeria at major international events, brand new car, 1-year modeling contract, and ambassador Adora role, amongst other fantastic opportunities. Entry closes 20th October 2014. Venue, Lagos Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. Date, 6th December 2014. Queen Nigeria is about beauty, brains, cultural values, and elegance. For sponsorship and more details, log on to www.queennigeria.org or call these numbers. Queen Nigeria 2014 is powered by NTA, TV Enterprise, and Famford Enterprise Limited. Queen Nigeria 2014, beyond beauty.
Bragging is not President Goodluck Jonathan's style, so you'd hardly hear him brag about all the great things he is doing for Nigeria. He wouldn't tell you he's the first president to privatize power, to give us a constant supply of electricity and economic prosperity. Soon your electricity will be like your mobile phones, 24 hours, 7 days a week. He won't brag about security, new roads, new rail, or new airports, eliminating corruption in agriculture and saving $25 billion per year, mass housing projects, or that our economy is growing at the fastest rate in the world. He wouldn't brag about any of it because he knows there's a lot more to be done. Mr. President, right on. We that are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Sports now. Nigerian Football Federation Extraordinary General Assembly ends Saturday in Warri. Delta State, with an 8-point communique, sets new electoral committee as FC Barcelona of Spain and newly revived stationery stores of Lagos amongst club sides to feature at the 2014 Copa Lagos Beach Soccer Tournament. Plus, update from the Pan-Pacific Open Tennis and Barclays Premier League matches. Henry Efium has details on our sports update.
The Extraordinary Assembly of the NFF was declared open by the Minister of Sports and Chairman National Sports Commission, Tamidana Gogo, who was represented by Dr. Bolaji Ojoba. Amongst the 8-point communique, the Congress composed an 11-man electoral committee headed by Samson Ebomie and a new 5-man electoral appeals committee headed by Barrister Oke Ajunwa. The General Assembly unanimously approved Tuesday, September 30, 2014, as dates for the NFF Elective Congress with Warri, Delta State as venue. The Congress affirmed the FIFA directive that the 2014 Elective Congress be composed only of delegates that attended the November 2013 Annual Assembly in Warri, Delta State. And to the Copa Lagos Beach Soccer, where national beach soccer teams from Switzerland and Cote d'Ivoire are scheduled to feature. They will be joined by FC Barcelona beach soccer team, stationery stores, and 2 other top-flight Nigerian league sides to compete in a round-robin format in the 3-day event at the Eco Atlantic City, Lagos.
Copa Lagos itself with the national team is still as important and still very important. So this is a special year for us. So we're introducing the clubs. So in terms of competition, that's what we're doing to make it broader.
In tennis, world number 2, Caroline Wozniacki, will meet world number 3, Anna Ivanovic, in the final of the Pan-Pacific Open in Tokyo. And to some results of Week 5 matches in the Barclays Premier League, where Arsenal beat Aston Villa 3-0 at the Villa Park, while Victor Moses had a hand or a leg in Stoke City's 2-2 draw away at QPR.
And Juve has nudged it in. Victor Moses, Crouch! 2-1 Stoke.
In other matches, it was Newcastle 2, Hull City 2, Swansea lost by a lone goal at home to Southampton, while Burnley's game against Sunderland ended in a goalless draw. With sports update, Henry Efium, NTA News.
Late historian Professor Adeajayi has been buried in his hometown, Ikole Ekiti, amidst tributes and encomiums.
The transition of Emeritus Professor Festus Adeajayi was full of commendations extolling the virtues of the historian, whose immense contributions remain evergreen to the African continent. Most Reverend Lashe Bikon, who recanted the scholastic inputs of the deceased in taking historical recognition for Africans, advised the congregation that since death is the necessary end to existence, forsaking all forms of unrighteousness is not an option, but a necessity. The funeral service, which could be described as an assemblage of the academia, had in attendance former Governor Niyi Adebayo and Governor Kade Fayemi.
He represented Ekiti in the very best of his values.
For honest people, there is a reward. And we pray that we have more and more righteous people around.
Professor Festus Adiajayi, who died on the 9th of August this year, was born 85 years ago at Ikole Ekiti in Ado Ekiti. Michael Alaleye, NTA News.
As we conclude tonight's edition of the program, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And it's here we conclude tonight's edition of the program. I'll see you again next week, and thanks again for your company.
Carranca.